You ever read something that completely changed your life? Probably not, because you don't read, because you can't, because you're stupid. It's not your fault, though. It's society's fault that you are a stupid, illiterate, half-wit moron that's addicted to the quick fix dopamine hit of YouTube shorts, and that's fine. In fact, it's great. Society needs people like you. Who else is going to sign up for the Microsoft Office suite of products and then pay for it eternally without giving it a second thought? Not me, that's for sure. Anyway, back to the topic at hand, reading. I've read words before. In fact, I've read numerous words in rapid succession, enough words to form entire paragraphs. Look, I'm not claiming to be some kind of super genius, but I've actually read entire books before, not all at once. I'm not some kind of loser who doesn't have 200 Japanese girlfriends. I'm a busy guy. Up until now, there's really only been two things I've read that had a profound impact on me. The first was a little book called Becoming a Billionaire for Dummies. It's how I made my vast fortune. The second was Toilet Terror by R.L. Stine. Scared the shit out of me, literally, and figuratively as well. I haven't been able to take a dump on toilet ever since. And I read it when I was 8, back in the pre-billionaire era. Anyway, I was recently on the World Wide Web, just doing some cruising and perusing through some articles. I suddenly stumbled onto a strange website. It was something like www.youareactuallygay.com. I don't know how I got there, honestly. I'm serious. I think I clicked a pop-up ad. Maybe my algorithm is messed up. Yeah, it's probably just the algorithm. That dinged algorithm. But there was some kind of interesting stuff on there. Well, first I noticed that there were a bunch of ads for something called the DNC. I don't know what that is, but they sure do like the color blue. And fat women, I wonder what that's all about. Anyway, I accidentally clicked this article about a frat boy that had his first gay experience. Boy, it was something else. First of all, a lot of flowery language for a self-professed dude bro frat guy. He wrote less like a meathead, more like a fruitcake. But he also seemed kind of stupid, like maybe he was mentally challenged or something. And it was sort of like this gentleman had just learned what being gay was in his 20s. Like somehow he managed to make it that far without ever even realizing that putting wieners in his mouth and butt was a possibility. Not because he didn't want to, just that he didn't know he even could. Not even that he was scared or feared any sort of societal stigma. He legitimately didn't know that men could do that to one another until a benevolent fairy boy was thrust into his life and looked at him seductively. It was that easy. The guy was clearly just very gay and very, very stupid. I mean, he wrote an entire dissertation about how much he liked sucking on his new friend's penis in great detail. Here's a quote. "I gave him the kind of head I would want. My vision zoomed in and out of his pubic hair as my lips moved back and forth across his shaft." Now that's incredibly gay. You don't just suddenly become that gay. You were always that gay. The more I read about what this man did to this other man's penis, the more curious I became. How do I know I'm not gay? I've never really been put to the test. Nobody has ever asked me to do something gay with them. Like, what if all this time I was gay and just didn't know it? Maybe I'm just really shy and have been waiting for the right guy to come along and ask me to fillet his penis until he climaxes and shoots his goo inside my mouth. Or maybe I'm just gay and nobody told me. I have no idea. How could I possibly have any idea if I was gay unless someone came along and told me? There's just no way. none at all. So I had to put it to the test. I don't know any queers, so I went to the first place I could think of where they might be prancing around. Dick's Sporting Goods. I'd never actually been there before. I'd only flown over it in my private jet. I assumed it was sporting goods for your dick, but sadly I was mistaken. Not a single homo in sight, except for maybe myself, but that was unproven so far. Next, I thought I would try hitting up the local Arby's because I had heard that they had the meats. Meat being a fairly common euphemism for male genitalia, and if there's anything gay guys like, it's male genitalia. Sadly, it was another dead end, but I did indulge in a rather delectable roast beef and cheddar sandwich and curly fries, 5 stars. At this point, I started to doubt that I'd ever find out if I was actually a secret gay guy. So I did what anyone else would do in my shoes. I stood in front of the mirror and role-played as one with myself. And it went a little something like this. Oh, hello there, cutie pie. I like that sweater. It makes you look sort of meek and uninteresting, which is how I like my men. Oh yeah, yeah. And those glasses are really doing it for me. If you like that, then check out this pocket protector. It protects my pocket from all kinds of messes. I would like to make a mess in your pocket, if you know what I'm saying. Oh yeah? Is that $1 billion in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me? I do actually have $1 billion on me, but that's just my erect penis. Then I pulled my own penis out from the fly of my khaki trousers. Then I curled up like a pill bug and got my face real close to it. First I gave it a light kiss on the tip. Then I just went sucking away. It felt good, but I didn't like the taste. I actually threw up a lot. Roast beef everywhere. So I guess I'm not gay,